How's it going, everyone? Wayne the Unknown here, and welcome to another episode of Cosplay Con Talk. Cosplay Con Talk is basically my new podcast series where we discuss everything pertaining to the cosplay community and conventions. And tonight we are doing another segment of Get to Know That Cosplayer. And tonight's featured cosplay guest is Kessy Kess.
Hi there. Thanks
Ah,
for having me on.
you're welcome. How are we doing, Kessy?
I'm doing good. I actually have been working on cosplay today. I was doing some hand sewing and it was not going successfully, but I'm trying. I don't do much sewing. I've just been learning recently, so it's all pretty new to me, but it's been fun to try to figure it out.
What is the cosplay that you're working on? What character?
I'm following Ginny D's Centaur for Attention book and trying to make a centaur myself. She created the walking centaur. And so I'm trying to attempt to make something like that too. And it's been going good. It's been in the works for a couple of months, and I've gotten most of like the big like moving physical pieces done, but now it's just down to sewing, and that's not my strong suit. So yeah, but it's been trucking along pretty good so far.
Well, that's always good. To begin, how long have you been cosplaying for?
I have been cosplaying since 2014. I started back in high school. Um, I was, I think it was my second semester, so sophomore year of high school, and I the first convention I ever went to was Where's the World Comic Con in Portland, and I saw everyone cosplaying there, and I love the aesthetic, I love the look. Everyone was having so much fun, and you got to see these amazing things, and I really wanted to get my hands into it. So the next convention I went to was KimuraCon. I think I went that same year, and my first ever cosplay was No Face from Spirited Away, and it's just taken off since then.
Wait,
So
oh,
yeah,
no
I've
face
been
from
doing it
a.
for a long time now.
You said no face from Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Very nice. What was it like cosplaying such a iconic character from a very well-known Studio Ghibli movie?
Well, at first it was a little nerve-wracking because I wasn't really used to that kind of attention. I had this whole plan in my head. I cosplayed this character, and before I went to the convention I bought a bunch of candy, and I would stand right outside the opening to the vendors hall, and as people walked by I would do the classic like like the candy, trying to hand out the candy, and I would see how people reacted, and it was a little nerve-wracking at first, but I don't know, I just loved how people were reacting to me cosplaying this character. Like it was actually there. Like some people
Some people would what?
would.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just really cool. Like it blended like. Oh, sorry, phone's ringing in the background. It was like a blend of it was a blend of like acting and also just chilling and having fun, and it was so much fun to do.
Very nice. Nice. Um, so you said your first con was Wizard World in Portland. What was that like? I've heard that's a fairly big con up in Portland, aside from Komori Con.
Yeah, it seems like it's gone very small over the years. I went back in 2020 also, and it seemed like it was way smaller than I remember it, but back in 2014 when I went, it was this huge thing, and it took up the entire convention area, and there are so many celebrities there. It was really cool because I had never been like in an area where there's that many celebrities, and you could just like see them out in the open. I mean, they're in their little stall thing, but that was just like a big shock, and you know, all the like you could buy. It was really cool because at the time I didn't really do a lot of online shopping, so if I wanted to buy like nerdy things, I'd have to find it in the store, and it was really hard to find really niche things from like movies or games that aren't maybe, as popular. And so it was super cool to just see that, I could go out and, buy whatever I wanted from, any genre or any game or movie. And also just being around a lot of people who like the same things as me was really cool. I am from a smaller town, and it's not a really big thing to just be nerdy, and not people aren't open about those kind of things. And so it's really nice to just like get to meet people that all were there and all liking the same things that I did too.
And how long have you? I think I asked this. How long have you been cosplaying for?
Since 2014. So, been, I think, would that be 7 years, I think. Um, and over the years, I've definitely gone rid of some cosplays and started new ones. I no longer wear the no face. Unfortunately, it's not that I don't like it anymore. I just want it to be better. And so eventually I would love to be able to revamp it and make it a lot better. I got very inspired a couple years back. I went to a convention and there was another no face, and he had like a mechanic mouth, so he would walk by, and then if you got too close he would like snap the mouth at
Oh,
you. And I was
nice.
like oh my goodness, now I need to do something. I need to do something really cool with my no face, because like, geez, that is amazing. And I feel like as I've started to grow in cosplay, I've loved like building little things. Like for Halloween, I think, yeah, it was Halloween. I made two cosplays around that time. I made the little space dudes from Among Us, and that was my first time using EVA foam,
Wait, you made a little
and that
space
was really fun.
like the costume or
Like
like
I
a
made
prop?
a oh yeah, like I made a little prop. It was a helmet, and it had the little like leaf thing on top of it that you can pick.
That's so cool.
And I got very frustrated making it because I it was my first time using EVA. And I had vinyl as like the like what would be the glass part, that they see through, and that doesn't really shape well. And that was many nights of frustration. And the I bought a suit to go with it, like a space suit, and it didn't fit me, and so we'd have to like resize everything. It was really frustrating. But when it comes to building too with cosplay, around the same time I had made a Silent Hill nurse cosplay, and that was really cool because I had never used plaster to make a mask before, and so I had my sister plaster my face, and I had something to build off of, and then I made like the really creepy looking faces that the Silent Hill nurses have. Um, and I bought this old fashioned nurse dress and a nurse hat, and I dirtied and roughed it up, and oh my god, it looked so cool.
I'm
So um
yeah, I'm looking at it right now. How long did it take you to make the face for the nurse?
sorry, can you say that again? You cut off a little bit.
Sorry about that. How long did it take you to make the face for the Silent Hill
I
nurse?
actually I actually busted it out really quickly. The only reason it took a little longer, I think it took about a week, and I think the only reason it took that long was because I wanted to be super duper strong, because I was like really nervous about like messing up and like dropping it or something like that. And so I layered that baby with plaster, and so it took a little while to dry. But it was actually really easy. I just when I think the hardest part was just like finding someone to do like the plaster mold of my face and then doing it properly, because you don't want to like strangle yourself when you're doing it, like, or I mean suffocate yourself, because like you want to make sure you still have like the ability to breathe out of it. And I think that was the hardest part, but it was actually really fun to build. After that, I just kind of like folded plaster pieces on to make it kind of look like bandaging, and I tried to paint it up all dirty and bloodied. And so yeah, it really didn't take that long, surprisingly.
Very nice. Now I've noticed because in the picture that you have a prop knife. Did you make that, or did you buy it, or how did you come
Oh
about
no,
that?
I bought that one. At the time, I didn't I hadn't bought an EVA foam at the time. And so, but I would like to be able to continue to like make my own props, cuz the knife is cool, but it looks a little chintzy. I mean, it's just a Spirit Halloween knife, and so it'd be really nice in the future to make something that looks a little bit more cool. And I would also like to be able to buy an airbrush kit so I can airbrush my own props, so they look a little more realistic than what I have in the picture.
Oh man, I know airbrush kits are very expensive.
Yeah, and they're also, I feel like they're really hard to figure out which one's the best one to use, and like what's the best paints. And there's just because if you go to the store and ask about it, you'll have like five different people telling you five different things. And then if you wanted to use it for applying makeup, like face paint stuff, which is another thing that would be really great. um I think I have some pictures on the Instagram, but I do a hymn from Powerpuff Girls too, and it would save me so much time if I just had a airbrush kit to use to apply all that makeup on.
Yeah, actually, seen that too. Now, did you what kind of wig did you use for him's hair?
So I just took so originally when I first started doing him, I would dye my hair a dark purple and then slick it back, because my the side of my head is shaved, and so it was a little easy to pull off his look. But then I wanted to not have to change my personal hair to be able to do him. And so um I really wanted to go with like this curly black hair look, like very like long curly, and then I put it up in the back with a ponytail, because I imagined if he had long hair, that's how luscious and beautiful it would look. But that's definitely one of my most popular cosplays. I get a lot of people excited about that one.
Very nice. Yeah, again, I'm looking at it right now. It looks like, just trying to get the cheeks, his pink cheeks, where it looked like that was a challenge in itself.
Yes. So I use I don't really know how to pronounce the company. I think it's Merhone
Oh,
liquid
Marin?
makeup.
Maron?
Oh, okay, there we go. See, I do pronounce it wrong. um, so I have the red, and then I have white, and I originally had bought the white because a couple years ago I really wanted to do Pennywise, and it ended up not working out, and so I had this extra white, and so I'm like, oh well, I can make his cheeks with mixing the colors, because originally when I first did him, which I don't have pictures of anymore, it looked terrible. I didn't know how to pull off the cheeks, so I'd take pink paper and cut out a circle and then spirit gum it to my cheeks, and it looked really crappy. And people were like, "Oh my God, your cosplay looks so great! You should be in these like contests and whatever." I'm like, no, like, do you see this? This is like terrible." And so when I bought that white makeup, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can actually like paint it on, but getting it perfectly circular and then in the same spot on each side of your cheek, like I'm not a very like I'm really hard with like symmetrical things and like making things even. And so like that's really hard even like doing something as simple as like keeping my hands like still enough to do the little goatee on his chin thing. Um or the little soul patch, I guess you'd call it, on his chin. That's difficult too. Like there's a like it's really weird, like you wouldn't think it would be that technical, but just like getting it all perfect and circular or straight. And symmetrical. All that stuff's really hard.
it it sounds like it. Mind you, it's just I can imagine doing all that. And did you do that face paint like all that by yourself and everything, or did you have help?
The first time I ever did the cosplay, I got some help. Especially because I wasn't used to doing makeup. I stopped doing makeup back in middle school. And I like granted this is like completely different makeup. It's like a full face, kind of thing. But I didn't know how to apply makeup. I didn't know how to, really do anything with my face and how to like prep my face for going all day like that. So I definitely used to get help, but now that I've done it a couple times, I'm able to do it on my own and also like whip it out way quicker because it used to take me like an hour and a half to do. And now I can get it done in like 30, 40 minutes pretty quick.
Nice, nice. Now, on the topic of cons, aside from Wizard World, what other cons have you gone to in the past 7 years?
I wish it was more. In Oregon, there's just not that much in the, I think there's more, and I just, I'm not that worldly and knowing of what's going on in the area. But I have been to a couple. I've been to Where's the World Comic Con 3 times altogether, and I've gone to Rose City Comic Con. I actually went to it for the first time in 2018, and I thought it was really cool. I really liked it. And then I would go to KomoriCon. I started going to KomoriCon in 2014, and then I go every single year. I think I only missed 1 year. I think I missed it in 2017. Um, and then there was this random convention that happened in Seaside. It was called Versus Comic Con, and it only happened. It was a 2-day convention, and it was ran by this independent comic book artist company that was in Oregon, but they haven't done the convention ever since, so it must have not have taken off really well. But yeah, I mainly just go to KomoriCon, and I've gone to some like 1-day conventions too, like the Wajimaya in Beaverton has a 1-day convention. Um, Usually every year. I don't think they did it last year because of COVID, but I've gone to that a couple times too, and I would love to be able to explore more. I been really wanting to go to the retro gaming convention that's in Portland, even though it's more towards gaming and not really,
Uh,
cosplay or comic books or anime. Like that one still looks really fun.
I, I,
I would
I,
love to go to.
I guarantee people would still cosplay even if it's just a retro gaming convention.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely would. And I would love to go to PAX someday. Um going to, I think it's what PAX West is what it's called in the one in Seattle. I've always wanted to go to that one. And I would love to go to Dragon Con one day. That's like the pop culture convention over in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, I've heard of Dragon Con. It's basically a party con.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and the cool thing about that one is that I feel like you find like the coolest cosplays at that one because I think that like people work all year like building up to going to Dragon Con, and I don't think I would have anything that impressive to show off. But it would still just be so cool to be able to go. And then the other one over in that area, there's this giant, I think it's called AWA, Anime Weekly Atlanta, or Atlanta Weekly Anime. I think it's a Anime Weekend Atlanta. That's what I think it's called, and it's like this 4-day anime convention that I have a friend who goes to, and she said it's just a huge blast, and it's like Komoricon but like 10 times bigger, and it kind of sounds like it goes 24/7, so the panels and the fun never stops, which would be really fun to experience.
Nice. Now, give me a minute here. Thinking. Versus con. What is that like? I know you're talking a little bit about that. What does that involve usually for that con? Or what did it involve?
So it was just this really, it was a very tiny convention. It was at Seaside, and I didn't even know Seaside had a convention center until I went, and it's a very, very tiny convention center. It's literally just like one big room, and then there's like an upstairs little balcony area. And so there's just this one big room with a bunch of vendors, and then upstairs they had some celebrity guests, and I think the only ones that I could really remember was that there were some people from Ruby, although I don't watch Ruby, so I wouldn't be able to tell you who they were, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, there were some really good vendors. I bought some really cool art. There was the comic book artist and creator for this comic called Goals, which is a guy from Portland makes it. It's a comic book about seagulls, and it's really really funny. And then my local tattoo artist was actually at the convention too, and he does all my Studio Ghibli tattoos. So it
Nice.
was really cool to see him there, and yeah, so it was just this really fun, cute, small convention, and I wish it would come back. It was really cool. Oh, and the other thing I remember was that the organization Magic Wheelchair was there, which I don't know if you've heard of. It's that really cool company that it's a nonprofit, and they make cosplay for people in wheelchairs, and that was really cool to learn about because I used to work with special needs adults, and they love, talking about conventions and all the nerdy stuff. So to see the inclusion was really cool.
And what's the name of the company again?
The nonprofit one
Yes.
is called Magic Wheelchair.
Okay. I've never heard of it. I think that's really cool of them that they, make cosplay wheelchairs accessible for handicapped people. That's really nice.
Yeah, and if you go to the website, they are amazing. The one the one that they were showing at the convention, they were showing a picture. The lady wasn't in the cosplay. It was the motorcycle from Green Arrow, and I've seen some really cool ones too from their just exploring their website. They've done little Sugar Rush car from Wreck-It Ralph, and they've done this
Oh,
one where
nice.
it's like this giant Demogorgon on the back of the wheelchair. That one was really cool, and they've done like the Jurassic Park Jeep, and the giant mech machine that's used to fight off the aliens in the movie Alien.
I will
Um,
definitely have to look into them. That sounds pretty cool.
yeah, it was so cool, and yeah, sometimes they'll go, like, I think at Rose City 2 years ago, what was it, 2019 when I last went, they were like debuting a wheelchair there. They like to go to big conventions where like they know their um one of the people that they're supporting is going to go, and then they like announce this huge wheelchair cosplay and they show it off to everyone. It's super duper cool.
Nice. So we got about 7 minutes left.
Okay.
Any advice you'd like to give for those who are just starting to cosplay, wanting to go to a convention, stuff like that? Like, what kind of advice would you give newcomers to the scene once COVID is lifted and people can go back to cons
Yeah.
and cosplay? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the biggest piece of advice that I learned from doing cosplay over the years is just, be nice to yourself and your body, and just let yourself have fun, and do whatever cosplay you want despite your body type, size, look, weight, gender. I When I first started cosplay, I was very self-conscious. Going back to that Pennywise cosplay that I said didn't work out. The reason it didn't work out is I created this cosplay, and then right when I was going to like wear it, it ended up not fitting anymore, and I was devastated, and I
Oh
started
no.
feeling really, really, yeah, I started feeling super terrible about my body, and I honestly felt like I didn't want to cosplay anymore because I was just so upset that I worked so hard on this thing, and I couldn't fit in anymore because I gained too much weight, and it took a it took a while to get out of that, but it was actually cosplay who what made me gain that confidence back again in my body, because I decided I wanted to cosplay Freddy Krueger, and I got on that cosplay and I just loved the way I looked in it, even though, I'm a little bit bigger and I'm a female and I'm not this ugly burnt up dude like he actually is supposed to be, in the movies. I just loved how I looked in it, and I thought I looked stunning and I thought my body looked great, and I realized that I didn't need to have the perfect body to cosplay this character. And that's true for any character, any cosplay you want to do. You don't have to have the top tier skills or the perfect looks to do what you want to do. It's all about having fun and, enjoying your time cosplaying, and just having fun with a cool hobby where you get to meet a lot of cool people and you get to really tap into your artistic side. So, don't let whatever body type you have or whatever skill level you have or whatever stop you from just doing what's fun.
Basically, to make a long story short, cosplay is for everyone.
Yeah, yep. There you go. Cosplay's for everyone. Very
That's
true.
that's
Yep.
actually a another segment I want to cover down later down the road is talk discuss how cosplay is for everyone because I feel like that really needs to be discussed.
Sorry, can you say that again?
I was saying that I feel like the segment for cosplays for everyone, I feel like that is like a really good subject to discuss.
Yeah, especially, in this day and age, I feel like a lot of people are very nitpicky about if you're perfect or not, or, if you have the perfect prop or the perfect outfit or, the right skin or body, and that's just not cool, That's just kind of gatekeeping a
Mm.
hobby that should be for everyone, it should be fun. So yeah, absolutely. It's a good topic to discuss.
Oh, most definitely. We got about 2 minutes, a minute and a half. Um, anything else you want to discuss or share real quickly?
I can't really think of anything. I guess if you want to see more of my cosplays, you can go check me out on Instagram at look at that meme trash. There's the little underscore thing in between every letter, not every letter, sorry, every word. I have such a stupid username. I should change it sometime. But on there, I have all my cosplays that I do, and I hope to see all of you guys in the future when we can get going and doing cosplays in person and going to conventions again. And thanks so much for having me on. It was really
Oh,
fun.
you are most welcome, and I will be making sure to put a link to your Instagram in the description below.
Oh, good, because it's hard to type out. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Again, Kessy Kess, thank you for being my 20th cosplay guest for Cosplay Contalks. Get to know that cosplayer.
Thank you. It has been an honor indeed.
Again, everyone, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Thank you for listening, and until next time, thank you for watching.